left on the brakes. Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track. Comes into gate. Off goes Leclerc. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff.
Hi, my name is Solo P1. Welcome to F1 Debrief, episode 19, Mexico. And yes, we know it's 1 week late, but at the end of the day, we was on holiday in the UK. I was on holiday. TOTO Hammer was on his holiday as well. I was on the channel here and there trying to put content out there so the channel didn't stay dead for 1 week, because we don't like doing that on our channel. We like to put content out there, even though when we're on holiday, even if it's something small, we still like to put the content out there. But we're back now and we're talking about the Mexican Grand Prix. Usually we go into depth about the tyre wear strategy, which we will do today, but only a minimum. Really, we're going to talk about what happened at the beginning of the race, how it could have planned out, and how we're talking about Checo Perez and how he could have done better in the race without lunging in the first lap. We know it was a racing incident, but it's always someone's fault. And in my opinion, it was Checo's fault. I'm not just saying it because it's a Red Bull driver. It was his fault. He said in an interview himself, he said, if I wouldn't have got that first place in the first corner, which was basically nearly impossible, he said if he wouldn't have got that place in the first corner, that would have been his race over. So it was his race over because he didn't get in the first corner and he crashed out. And I thought he should have waited. He's in the Red Bull car. I thought he would have had the crowd behind him. I thought he should have just waited and see what happens, but he never. He went for the lunge. And for me, it's panic. It's panic from the Red Bull team, in my opinion. He's panicking. He knows his job's in jeopardy. I know he's going to come out and say that he's got a contract for another year, but who cares about the contracts? Contracts can be breached. Contracts are broken, and that's just the way it is. So I'm going to bring in my co-Qs, my partner in crime. He's the one who does all my videos with me. He's Robin. I'm Batman. TOTO. Abba.
Yeah, big up, man.
There you go, TOTO. There's TOTO back up his holiday with. How you doing, TOTO? How was your holiday?
Yeah, holiday was good, man. Good holiday, man. And how I'm doing, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
I didn't even ask that yet, but how are you doing anyway? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Okay, then. So what we're going to do, we're going to dive straight into this. We're going to talk about the incident, what happened with Checo Perez at the Mexican Grand Prix. I've just told everybody it was a week late. And by the way, before we start getting into this debrief, this is pre-recorded, as you know. Usually we do debrief on live, but we're going to start doing it pre-recorded now because we prefer it that way, because we've got a lot of live reactions, a lot of live videos, and we want to start doing some pre-recorded content for you guys. So we can we're recording it now, but you're going to hear this tomorrow morning on Saturday morning. Saturday what's the date now? Saturday the 4th of October, you'll be hearing, November, you'll be hearing this video. So, TOTO Hammer, what did you think of Checo Perez's incident in the first corner?
There was absolutely no need to go for that lunge, in my opinion.
Yeah, go on.
You know, as I always say, never ever go all in for turn one. And it's understandable why I went for that. And I'll tell you why as well, because he had a good start, which is good, right? He had a good start, probably got too overconfident and has shunted the car. There was no need to go for that lunge. You had a good start anyway. You made a cut. You could have gained a couple positions early in the race. Look at the car you've got. So I know it's not exactly the same as Max. At the end of the day, you're still in a Red Bull and you're going to gain them positions quite easily during the race. You had a good start. It was your home Grand Prix. Why not take it easy?
Just take the third place. Take the third. Take the third place. I understand when you come from take the third place. Take the third place because, look, Max got a brilliant start. He drag raced both of them. Beat Charles because I think Charles was on pole. He drag raced Charles, both of them down to the first corner. Max passed him. Charles was second. And Checo just wanted to get in that gap where there wasn't a gap. It was similar to the incident with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. Going for a gap, but isn't there? Just wasn't there. And I believe that, for me, in my opinion, Checo should have just waited for his time, then go for it. But he never. He was too greedy. He went straight into that corner. It was a big mistake from the beginning. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I believe it's a panic. Panic's kicking in. He knows he's got people behind him. He's got people saying, look, you have to perform. If he doesn't perform, he's got the way we're standing out, the Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend, and after that, we're only going to have 3 more races left. If he doesn't perform in these next 4 races, he's done. If Hamilton finishes in front of him in the Drivers' Championship, which I believe he's going to, he's done. he's not going to get he's not going to get no help off Max Verstappen, because Max Verstappen clearly
No,
come
Red
out
Bull's
today
like.
and says, look, I'm not going to let him pass me. I want to win all my races. I don't care. And we know how Max Verstappen is. We know he's selfish, and that's sometimes that's the way you're going to be. But we know he's not going to help his team out. Why should he? He should, but why should he? But we know that's how it goes. Max Verstappen. So Checo was out of the race, and he was clearly distraught. He was upset I could see by his face. I thought he was going to start crying in the cockpit. I never liked how the cameras was focusing on Perez too much when he was upset. I thought that was a bit disrespect. But look, that's it with Perez. He's out. So now I want to go on Lewis Hamilton's strategy. I believe Lewis Hamilton was on a good strategy.
Yeah,
he
he was.
made them tyres last to 25 laps. What do you think of him? It was a medium tyres he started on, and he made the medium tyres last 25 laps on a high degradation circuit, which we know in Mexico, and because of the heat and because of the high altitude, we know there's hardly any air in Mexico. It's very high altitude. It's not as bad as Singapore, but it is bad. So what do you think of Lewis Hamilton letting them tyres last?
Yeah, because the mediums are usually projected 35 to 37 laps.
Yeah.
So that's really good laps that go on a tyre.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, what you said about the degradation, the heat, decreases that so significantly.
Yeah.
So 25 laps to 30 laps on these tyres is the most you're getting out of. And Hamilton exceeded that. And that's good to see. I think Hamilton, out of the Mercedes, Hamilton had a really good strategy. It was nice and balanced. It flowed really well. I think Russell was probably the one that was going on for the push strategy, because last 20 laps on these tyres, when there was barely anything left, and due to the high temperature, I think Russell just burned them out 20 laps towards the end of the race, just to finish P6. Was it P7 or P6 or something? So he burnt out his last 20 laps on his medium tyres to finish P6. Hamilton, I think, had a decent race. His strategy was really balanced. Of course, it's Lewis Hamilton. You're going to get that time management from him. He stood his age on the tyres, so that's another factor, another video to talk about. But yeah, Hamilton had a balanced strategy. Russell also had a decent strategy, but he also pushed towards the end, which caused the losing wear on his tyres. Yeah, that's what I think, man. Hamilton had a good strategy. Russell had a decent strategy as well.
But which I'm going to get into, or it's not going to be a long video. I'm just going to talk about this part. What was the weird. At the end, it's weird how, which I was shocked, and I know you were shocked as well, that Lewis Hamilton got the fastest lap at the end, the last lap of the race, and he got the fastest lap. And I was talking to Toto. It was very interesting. I was talking to Toto. Karoon, which I never really listen to him anyway. Usually when he comes on the TV, I mute the TV. I either mute it or turn it off. But this time he was talking to Toto Wolff, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to listen and see what he's going to say, because we know how Karoon is, how he loves Red Bull. But he was talking to Toto, and he said to Toto, don't you think you're going to be a bit confident for next year now? Now you've tested the aero package at the USA Grand Prix, you've brought it into the Mexican Grand Prix. Your aero package looks good. You know your upgrades are working. So are you very, very excited to bring this package to the new concept next year? You know it's going to be good, don't you? And there's Toto. Yeah, it's going to be. He said he was shocked by the speed at Austin, how fast the car was when they put the upgrades on. And now they're coming into this Grand Prix, Mexican Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton getting in the fastest lap at the end is basically a message to say, you know what? We're here. We're not going anywhere. And next year is going to be a lot different. And which it is, I don't think it's just going to be Mercedes and Red Bull. I believe it's going to be I think McLaren is going to be in there, and I'm not sure about Ferrari. Maybe at the beginning, but not towards the end.
Ferrari's getting up there a little bit, but not there yet.
But what did you think of? So you thought Lewis Hamilton getting the fastest? That was cool at the end, and the new concept next season is going to be good for Mercedes.
Exactly, Hamilton. Yeah. You never saw this.
Not Hamilton. Amo. Go on.
Hamilton, right? You haven't seen this positive Hamilton in ages.
No,
we all Mercedes fans know this. They don't have to be a Lewis fan. You haven't saw this confident Lewis. When you see a confident Lewis, it's a good Lewis.
Yeah.
You know, beginning of the season, it was all droughted, distorted. He didn't know what to do. But now the car is finally coming to his own. I don't know about the teammate situation, but Hamilton specifically. the car's starting to come into his own. He's starting to be more comfortable with it. Of course, the seat positioning as well, and it's just the Mercedes car looks much better, and it's really good to see. Second place for Mercedes behind Red Bull, and it doesn't look like Verstappen is pulling away as easy as he was last season. It doesn't look like it. It looks like that gap is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing every single race.
So breaking news is coming. Breaking news coming before we go. Breaking news that George Russell's been handed a 2-place group penalty for driving slowly on the pit exit and not staying left, as per the race director's notes. And also the comments are coming in saying that they had 2 opportunities to penalise Max and they didn't. Max done exactly the same thing. Yeah. Exactly the same thing, and he didn't get penalised twice. 2 separate races, he done the same thing. He got reprimanded, never got a penalty. He got reprimanded. He had 3 charges of the same thing. They're identical to the same thing. Actually, it was even worse because it was actually in the pit lane. It was actually in the pit lane. He impeded. It happened 3 separate occasions. He had 3 different charges, and he got away with it every single time. Russell's under investigation and he gets a 2-place group penalty. But it is what it is. We know how it goes with Max Verstappen and the FIA. This is why it is what it is. So I'm going to be signing out now. Thanks for Toto for joining me. I know it's late.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
F1 2023 debrief episode 90 Mexico. See you later, guys.